guys, today I'm going to be talking about all the stuff that I take with me whenever I go on a snow backpacking trip. So in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be heading up with a couple of my friends. It's about 7,500 to 8,000 feet elevation in the Sierra Nevada mountains. We're going to be going up there. Like I said, we're going to be on snowshoes. We're probably going to head in between 5 and 10 miles. Not too far, but we are going to be building a snow cave and trying that out for the first time. So we'll see how that one goes. We are bringing a tent just in case if we have to, but we are leaving it in the truck. So it would be something if the snow cave doesn't work out, we trek back out, grab the tent, come back in and get that set up. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So I am upgrading from a JanSport Carson 100. It's an old school backpack. They've been made for 30, 40 years. I bought mine in 2006 and I have used it every backpacking trip that I've been on, probably 6 or 7 major trips a year, average. I don't do as much as I'd like to now, but I still try and get out. But anyway, you get an idea of how much abuse I've put that thing through. It's a large pack, and I've packed it as full as it will go. And the nice thing is it was an external frame, so I was able to, if I had to, strap things onto the outside of it, lash it down, and as long as it was balancing things, it was a great pack to overload. Great for hunting, fishing, backpacking, whatever I was doing at the time. It was a great backpack. It finally wore out. Straps started fraying. They'd been repaired countless times by me, and so I sent it back into JanSport. We'll see if JanSport actually repairs it. They do have a lifetime warranty, but it's been about 3 months and I haven't heard back from them. So still waiting. What I did upgrade to was this Mystery Ranch Terraplane. Mystery Ranch is another one of those packs that's it's been proven over time. The same pack design for the last 50 years, however long they've been making these things. They make them for wildland firefighters, our military, backpackers like me, either their expedition series, whatever you're looking at, they make a backpack for you. So this one here is the Mystery Ranch Terraplane. Some of the main features that I like about it is that it is fully adjustable depending on how long your torso is. It's got multiple attachment points for your shoulder straps and things like that. I haven't really gone through it yet. I saw it online. I've seen some of their older models. This one's one of the newer models here. So some of the other things that I really like about it. So on my external frame pack, when I needed to put my sleeping bag or extra sleeping pads, all depending on what I was doing, I could just lash it onto the bottom. I could lash things onto the top, sides, wherever I wanted it, and then I can, put my gear and things on the inside of my pack. So this being an internal frame pack now, I'm going to have to figure out how to get the majority of the things on the inside of the pack. Internal frame packs are good for certain things. Probably with the modern technology and things like that, I would say that they're getting better than the external frame packs. They're more balanced. They hold to you tighter. You can do crazier maneuvers with them on. They're not as hot anymore. I'm in Southern California, so it was pretty common to be out backpacking 110 degrees, and just the heat that builds up on your back and things like that, it would get pretty bad sometimes. So the external frame pack, it sits up off your back and allows cool air and things like that to get through there, so it cools you off. But they are getting better on the way they do things. The materials that they're made out of now, it's not heavy, thick canvas or nylon or things. It actually breathes. They quit trying to put water bladders right there, because there's nothing like taking a big swig of water out of your backpack and it's been right up against your back the whole time, so you're drinking 100-degree water. So they're getting better, a lot more feedback, a lot more people doing this sort of thing. So let's just go through and we'll take a look at these features here that I really like about this pack. So again, back to one of the first ones that made me actually start to think about this pack was this little feature right here. So this is the sleeping bag compartment. You can see it's got these compression straps on the outside. It's got this nice big area that, let's see if you can see in there, that I can put my sleeping bag into, right? Once it's in there, I got multiple straps, multiple compression straps where I can really cinch that thing down, squeeze it back down to size. So I think that's going to be very beneficial, especially because sometimes I'll take like a summer bag. A summer bag might be this big. I've got one in here. I'll show it to you here in a second. It might be this big. My 0 degree bag that I'm going to be taking on this trip, it takes up a lot more space. So it's really nice to be able to maintain the consistency whenever you're packing. It makes planning for these trips a whole lot easier. So another thing that I really liked about this one was this top. So this top actually detaches. You see it's got a few different attaching points here. But it actually detaches and then it becomes a separate pack. I think there's straps in here on one of this side. Oh, here we go. They're actually tucked up in here. Right? So these actually slide down through. So this will detach here. It will attach to, I believe it's this side. It attaches here like this. Right? And then these straps here, they come down, these pull out here, and then these straps slide into your same shoulder straps. So I think that's how it works. We'll figure it out whenever I try it out, but it's got instructions, so those will come in handy. But just some other cool features. It does have the expandable top, right? So I can cinch that down, gain a little extra space up here. It's got a top loading cinch strap down in here. It is water bladder friendly down on the inside. Okay, so it does accept a water bladder down in there. And then some of the other cool features is it is side accessible. So it's got these side pockets here. That one opens into a really long pocket. This one here actually opens into the main compartment of the pack. So all depending on how you want to do it, you want to have a rain jacket in here or something for the elements. You can easily get to it and pull that out if the weather turns on you. So it's really beneficial. All right, got some more long pockets here for various things on both sides. They seem to keep it pretty symmetrical. I really like that. It makes it a whole lot easier when balancing things out. Big heavy duty pockets for your water bottle, both sides. Side straps for strapping things on the side. This come in handy. A lot of times I go on backpacking fly fishing trips, and so I will pack my fishing pole right here. Or if I'm going deer hunting or something, I can pack my rifle on the side right here if I don't need to access it quickly. So that makes it actually really convenient. It's got a lot of the same features that I liked about my JanSport. So it'll make it easier whenever I'm packing out. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I have here. So this is a Kelty Four-Person tent. It weighs in at about 10 pounds. So it's actually packed 8 pounds, 8 ounces. 4-person, it's really not too bad if you think about it, especially when you're looking at the price range that it comes in, which is somewhere right around $100. So this will be our backup plan if the snow cave doesn't work, but you never know. You want to have good equipment even when you need it. So here's my sleeping bag. So on the JanSport, I would have the sleeping bag like this, and then I would strap it onto the bottom, and it wasn't a big deal. But now, I need to get this into this sleeping bag pocket. So let's go ahead and see how I pack this up. See how it works. This is a Marmot 0 degree bag, by the way. It's got a 3-pound fill in it. It says total weight is 4 pounds, 9.8 ounces. It's not the lightest pack, but I don't spend a lot of time shivering through the night either. It's a really good bag. And I'm starting to push this thing in there and realize that pocket's not as big as you think it is. All right, so I'm just putting it in here just like you would do a typical stuff sack. All right. Find these buckles. All right. So there's that buckle right there. Strap these down. Alright, there we go. So, that was relatively painless. Cool. Alright, so the next thing I want to do, so on an internal frame pack, I typically like to keep, you know, the bulk of, actually, internal frame, external frame anymore, you pack it. The majority of the heavy things down in the middle, food, cooking equipment, things like that. Emergency supplies, toiletries, things that I might need access to without unpacking everything or before I get to my base camp, I'll put towards the top. Maps, headlamp, compass, all that stuff. Water shell, wind jacket, whatever I'm doing, gloves. These things they'll get stuffed in this top compartment for easy access there. Food, snacks, car keys, right? You don't want to get somewhere and realize you left your car keys when you get back and have to go right back on up in there to get your keys. So, well, let's take a look then. Let's see what we got going. So this, I just picked this up. And I think it's going to be worth its weight in gold, which is good because it's almost cost its weight in gold. This little guy is the Neoair X Therm. It's a 5.7 R value sleeping pad. It's not self-inflating. I do have to air it up myself. But this is the regular size, which means that it's 20 inches wide, 72 inches long, and it weighs 15 ounces. So, it's got a little pack in here. I probably won't take it, but it's just a little air pump, right? You catch the air, it blows the air out this side right here to air this thing up. But I think for the weight that's going to cost, I'd rather just blow it up myself. Besides, gives me something to do. But you see how small this is? But the R value on it's just amazing. So in the past, right? So this takes up about the same amount of space as like a Nalgene 32-ounce water bottle. So this can go right down in here, and I can pack it right down on top of my sleeping bag and not even notice any space that it's taking up. It just fits right down there. in the past, right, whenever I'm going winter camping like this, I would take one of these, right? I would take one of these, and then I would also take my other sleeping pad. And this one was just a little cheapy here, it's Field and Stream. It worked and it was pretty comfortable, but just this one right here, 1 pound, 13 ounces. Same dimensions, but this one only has an R value of about, I think like 1.7. It doesn't tell me what it is on here. But it's not very good. You sleep on this thing, you freeze to death all night, so I would stack these two together. That way I'd have one that insulated me from the ground, the other one gave me the soft cushiness that you want to sleep on, but, right, I'm about 3 pounds right here, 3 pounds. Cut the weight in half, right? But 50 bucks, 10, 15 bucks. So you can see the difference. The other one was about, I think they're going for like $240 right now or something. Let me take this moment though, really quick, while I am talking about the price of things. I don't know if you guys shop around online, REI, Dick's Sporting Goods. Some of us, Walmart has a lot of different things, your local people, but some of the best places that I find online are the places that give you the best rewards, the best perks. And this is just a shout out, no affiliation at all. It's just one of the places I like to shop, and so when I shop somewhere and I have a good experience, I like to share that with others. So moosejaw.com. They have one of the best membership perks programs. You get 10% back on all purchases unless they're on sale, but you get it back in the form of Moose Jaw bucks. So this pack, which was $400, I bought it on a special when they were giving 50% back. So 50% back, $200. So that Holtzbrook axe that I had in one of my other videos, it's a $150 axe plus shipping or whatever it is, it was actually a free axe, right? Well, half off, however you want to look at it. It was a hell of a deal. So that sleeping pad, a whole bunch of different things. I find that as I buy things throughout the year, just little things, usually my 2-day free shipping, all this different stuff, it just adds up, and then it's like I'm getting free stuff at the end of the year. So that's always nice. All right, back to what this video is about. Enough about Moose Jaw. So here's my equipment, right? Some of the best equipment right here, right? The job isn't finished until you finish the paperwork, right? So this is just my little tub of things. I don't take it all. I usually pick and choose the things depending on what I'm going to be doing. But this is my toilet paper, hand sanitizer. There's a little shovel in here, all that different stuff that you need to do your business in the woods. So most of the time I don't put this deep down in my pack, because if I needed it on the trail, I would have to unpack everything, right? And sometimes that stuff just hits you and you gotta go. It's hard enough digging a hole before you go. So I'm gonna hang on to this, keep it out here. This is a bivouac sack, it's a bivy sack. This is what I would take during the summertime if it was me by myself, or sometimes you're in an area to where the weather is nice, but maybe you get a little bit of moisture and you don't want your bag soaking up that moisture, so it's nice to crawl into a bivy sack. You don't need a tent, you're not gonna freeze to death or things like that. So this weighs about a pound, right? Almost 10 pounds. So even a small tent weighs 4 pounds. So this always saves some weight, but I'm not taking that on this trip. These are just old straps and things. Camp kitchen sink, not taking that. Old stuff. Compass, taking my compass. Right, extra string, taking that. Paracord and things. And then we are going to be in the snow, so I'm going to take these guys for my trekking poles. And hold my glasses on. Alright, so that's what I'm going to take out of there. There's 4 of us going, or no, 3 of us going. So, take my first aid kit. Just so you know what's in my first aid kit. I've got waterproof matches, 2 sets of those. We got Advil, Tylenol, okay, blister treatment, burn treatment, big wound, small wound. I have a tourniquet in here, just different things. You never know what's going to happen. Lots of tape, lots of other bandages and things like that. So I replenish that every time I'm packing up, every time I get back. So that's good to go. Sunglasses, I'm going to be in the snow. So these are prescription sunglasses, so I'm going to take those. Fuel, right? I find that this all-season fuel blend, it doesn't matter if it's MSR or whoever it's made by, Snow Peak, who else does their thing, Jet Boil, all that different stuff. As long as it's an all-season blend, it tends to do okay. Sometimes I do find myself I have to put it in a little pot of water or something to keep it up to temperature, because we are going to be in temperatures down around 20 degrees, and so it's really hard to get this stuff to burn in the morning. Sometimes I sleep with these. Just a bunch of little tricks that you pick up. Some of these I like them because on the bottom, you know, you could shine this up if you had to. I don't know. We all see the things on TV or read about them, and you know, you start thinking about ways you can survive. This is my Pelican Headlamp. It's starting to get stretched out. It's a really good lamp. It's the 2760. I want to say this is like a $50 headlamp. I did just pick up a Black Diamond 375. I can't remember the model number, but I'll be taking that on this trip. And so this is going to go into probably my fishing pile or something like that. But for the sake of packing, I'm going to put that in there. My cooking kit, right? So this is Snow Peak, all titanium. The cool thing is, right, this little bag weighs almost nothing. But I can fit everything in here, right? Got my titanium. It's like a Japanese made fork, spoon, knife setup that I picked up. T-toe titanium. Amazon, like 10 bucks or something. Right? It works. I always carry a knife with me, so that's not a big deal if I gotta cut my food. So that goes in there. And this is actually a cook set. It's big enough for 4 if you have all the different ways that you guys are going to eat. If you have the meals that prepare themselves in a bag. Right? What I like about this is I've had these directly on a fire before, and they clean right up. I come home, toss them in the dishwasher. It doesn't take any time at all. It wasn't cheap though. This was like a $100 kit, I think. I'm still using the same MSR pocket rocket that I bought 15 years ago. It's never been rebuilt, never anything. I do have a rebuild kit that I picked up because people talk about having to rebuild these things. But man, this thing just burns perfect. Nope, it's lightweight, fits inside here. You can see in here, I've got, all right, my larger pan, larger pot, smaller pot, fuel, lighter. It all just fits right down in there. All right, these squeeze and close back up. All right, so I put this right back, put it right back in this little bag. It is a winter trip, so I will be taking extra fuel. You never know if you're going to get up there. Maybe you can't get a fire or something started, or different things. If you got to melt snow for water, whatever you have to do. I don't know. It's not very much weight for the insurance that it brings with it. So, cooking gear. All right. Water filter. This is my Msr Water Filter. This thing filters like 10 liters in like 4 minutes. It's amazing. It's the ceramic filter, little tiny capillaries. It just screens everything out. But I have found in the last 3 years, about every other trip out into, you know, the winter trip, these bust. They freeze, they crack on the inside, and then they are useless. It's just the filter that's in there. It's just the way that it works. It cracks on the inside, and then you're just carrying around extra weight until you can come back and pick up another $60 filter. So I don't usually take these into the snow anymore because you never know if they can freeze. You forget about it. You lose track of the temperatures, and then you're out $60. So it is winter time. We're hoping to be in an area safe with safe water. We will be taking either iodine pills or some other type of purification pill with us that we drop in the water. One of my buddies has the Terraplane, so the UV light and things like that. The only benefit that you don't get when you're using something like that is either the taste, or if the water is murky or something like that, it doesn't filter out all that sediment. So usually if you do something like that with a Terraplane, sterilize it, you let everything sink to the bottom, then you drink from the top. It's like drinking, cowboy coffee. So, all right. All this other stuff is my repair kits. I'll take this lens cleaner for my glasses. All right, and then it's just extra bags. Let's see. I do have a pack of toe warmers. I'm going to take these. These are nice when you're sleeping at night. Another thing that I do is my Nalgene bottle. I usually fill it up with hot water, throw it in the bottom of my sleeping bag. You're warm all night. It's just the little things, right? Let's take a look here. So, collapsible shovel, aluminum, lightweight. You never know when you're going to be up in a situation like that, and an emergency or something happens. You got to dig your way out. You got to dig your buddy out, avalanche, whatever it is. You fall in a pocket next to a tree. You end up at the base. You got to dig yourself out. We're going to be building a snow cave, so this is going to come in handy for that as well. This is like $15 on Amazon, and I've used it for 3 seasons now, and it's holding up great. You could probably get something that's lighter, but it's going to be a whole lot more than $15. So I'm going to pack this on there. Snowshoes. All right, so these are the Msr Lightning Ascents. These are actually these are the 30-inch models, and then I have the 6-inch extensions. So, right, I'm a pretty skinny guy. If you guys couldn't tell, but in all reality, I'm about 225 pounds. If I have a 50-pound pack, that's 275 pounds, depending on what I'm walking on. Sometimes I need these extensions, right? So they just go onto here, they strap in through here, right? Just gives me that little extra flotation. These are really nice. Walking on ice and different things, rocks and all that stuff, pretty durable, but I've got grip on the sides, I've got grip here. I can set, this here, if I'm going uphill or different things, I can set how much movement that I get. But I really like these. I can't remember how much they were, $200 or something. I usually buy like one new set of equipment each year. I bought these about 4 or 5 years ago, and have never looked back. They're amazing. This is my ice axe. Right, so this is a black diamond. I believe this is a 70 centimeter, or not 70 centimeter. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, maybe that's what it is, 68. Can't remember. But this thing's super handy depending on what you're doing. We're not going to be doing anything that crazy in the past. We've done things up in Yosemite. We've climbed some of those peaks up there in the wintertime. And this comes in handy, depending on the angle that you're climbing at the time. These are my crampons in here. I'm not going to open those up. I don't feel like going back into them. But I don't need this. We're not going to be doing anything that nice. see here. My mug, it's plastic. You can't heat it up on the fire or anything, but it is pretty good insulated. So if you want to enjoy that hot cup of coffee before it gets cold, this is pretty handy. So I will be taking this. All right, so for that stuff on my end, I think that about does it. I will have a sack of food. Either I'm taking it or somebody else will be taking it. It's not a lot in the wintertime. I know you need more calories and things like that, but it seems like every time we go out on these things, we end up bringing food back, and so it's just not worth the wait to us to go out there and try to feast at every meal. In the past, we would take like 4 packs of oatmeal a person, coffee in the morning, sandwich stuff, and for lunch, and then you get your bagged meals and things like that for dinner. So we're not going to do that this year. We're going to take some Crunch bars, eat a cold breakfast with plenty of coffee. We are taking a lot of coffee this year. I like having coffee all times of the day. It doesn't matter if it's before bedtime or not. It's just good to have. So my food, if I would take it, let's go ahead and let's put something together that would mimic how much food I'm going to take. All right, let's say these two things here represent my food. All right, let's say these two here represent food. I think that could do it, especially because we're going to be dividing things up between the 3 of us, and this isn't a trip that I would do by myself in the middle of wintertime. So there would always be another person that I would split this up with. But let's go ahead. Let's try to get this packed up. Oh, let's go through my clothes. Let's talk about clothes. Trekking poles. Don't want to forget those. All right, so clothes. Right? Gloves, beanie. These will either be worn most of the time, or they will go right in on top. Change of socks. So what I do at night is I take the pair of socks that I'm wearing, and I just swap them out. And then I sleep on the socks that I had on all day. I stuff them down in my sleeping bag, and it dries those out. And then I have these ones for the next day. I wear these, and then the next night I do the same thing. Just keep swapping them out. That way I always have dry socks. So these are my liners. They're little toe liners. I find they're perfect whenever your feet are getting hot, getting cold, and things like that. It just keeps the movement in your toes. Stops the blister from the moisture, all that different stuff. I really like these ones here. Couldn't even tell you the brand. What is that? Injinji. I-N-J-I-N-J-I. I think I got these at REI. But I've had these for a couple of years now. Right? Some good wool socks, merino wool socks. Nice thick layer. So it's always nice to have these. So these are spares. Thermals for sleeping at night, depending on how the temperature is. I don't usually hike in these because I find that I sweat, and then when you sweat and it's cold outside, it freezes, or you get cold as soon as you stop. But these are just some polyester, smart wicking, right? Field and Stream. I wear these whenever when I'm fishing in cold waters. These are usually under my waders and things like that to keep me warm. But they're really good for backpacking too. And then this is probably what I'll be wearing most of the time. So this is going to be my socks I wear. Long sleeve, short sleeve, pants, and underwear. Right? Nothing is cotton. Everything is all technical fabric. So dry fit, whatever name brand you want to call it. And then, right, so that was base layer, mid layer. It's my vest, Patagonia Nano Puff. I love this thing. So a lot of times I will have this on with just a t-shirt, or this on with just a long sleeve. And I find it is perfect while I'm out hiking around. Sometimes you gotta unzip it because you get too hot. So have that. And then just a winter snowboarding, whatever you want to call it, jacket. It's heavy. I might swap this out for a pullover and my rain cover. Yeah, haven't decided yet, but if I do that, that'll free up about 1.5 pounds. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see if we can get this all packed up and get this put in here.